Up until now, apartment owners have been told that if their building has combustible cladding on it, that they, the owners, will be responsible for funding the rectification works. And that's simply not fair. These mums and dads and families bought into apartment blocks which passed the test, they passed the regulations and were deemed safe for habitation. In hindsight, we know that the aluminium composite panels used on some of these buildings is not safe. There was a gap in the regulatory framework which allowed these ACP panels to be imported, distributed and used in the construction of apartment buildings and other buildings. And we now know that that was a mistake, but it doesn't excuse the regulators and those who made those decisions, those who created the framework, from the consequences of their decisions. And the consequences should not fall on the apartment owners, it should fall on the regulators. So we welcome the news overnight from the Victorian State Government, who announced that they will in part, if not in full, fund the rectification works for all private buildings in Victoria, estimated to be in the vicinity of $1.6 billion. And at SSKB, we look after around 600 buildings in Queensland, around 35,000 apartments, and we've strongly encouraged the state government to follow suit. It is simply not fair for these mums and dads and families to be put into the position where they may have to remortgage their apartment or their assets and able to pay a special levy to fund the rectification works which are a result or a consequence of the decisions made by a regulator and through legislation that in hindsight was wrong. And that should not sit with the apartment owner, but should sit with those who made the decision.